Hello everyone, this is Sina Ziaee,
And this is Sajad Dadgar.
and today we want to talk about our presentation for the Data Visualization Hackathon, and you can go through our GitHub repo at this link so that you can have access to all the data, code, and visualization. For the purpose of this hackathon, we used pure Python code for data preprocessing, cleaning, gathering, and scraping from social media platforms and data visualization. We have implemented a web application that has interactive visualization with each part of the data, and you can navigate through each part via the sidebar that is available here. Let's go through Media Focus page first. The Media Focus page consists of three main components, as we can see here, and we're going to go through them step by step. So first, at the top left, we have the world map, where we can see the impact of Chinese social media on each country in the world. The darker the end the red is, the more focus Chinese accounts have on that country. And the whiter or yellower the color is, the less focus they have on those countries. And you can also zoom in, zoom out, see the name of the countries, and so on. So as we can see, the more focus is on United States and Canada rather than China or African countries, or for example, Russia itself. Okay, at the top right, we have media focus on language. So it basically is the number of total accounts that are focusing on each specific language. So as we can see, the more focus is on English. So if we go down, we have the Chinese media impact on each platform with focus on each country. So as you can see, we can select a country. We can, for example, change it to Italy here and see that the slides are going to be changed. You can also search in this bar. And so basically at the left, we have the number of accounts for each platform. For example, we have the number of Facebook accounts, we have the number of Twitter accounts, and as we can see, we have more Twitter accounts for Italy. And at right, we have the number of followers in each platform. Basically means that total number of Facebook followers on these Chinese platforms, and specifically for the country of Italy, is more than other platforms like Twitter, Threads, TikTok, and so on. And also at the bottom, we have another metric, which is like the ratio of media accounts. And this is one of the things that that actually crossed our mind. And it is because the data is actually imbalanced and we have less number of, we don't have all the accounts names for all of the social media platforms. So we thought it's better to have another metric in which we're going to divide, for example, for the left, divide the number of Twitter accounts for Italy by the total number of Twitter accounts. And we have this ratio, we have other platforms ratio as well, and then compare them with each other. So as we can see here, if we consider that Chinese are working on having more YouTube impact, and also as we can see, based on the number of followers, the impact that they had on TikTok was more because the number of followers that they have based on the total number of TikTok accounts that they have is more than others. If we change this option, for example, to Australia, we can see other things. For the Twitter page, as you can see here, most of the data are scraped from the Twitter accounts, but some of them are also coming from the dataset itself as element here. So in here, we are having a list of news accounts and their owners based on the selected focus country. So based on the focus that they have on which country, whichever country that they have, we have the names of all of the news accounts and news channels here, their owners, and also because some of the owners have different owners themselves, we have them here as well. And you can also search the names, you can zoom on the names, you can download this CSV file, and so on. And you can also change these countries to whichever you want. You can also search on the countries themselves. The second element is the Twitter Data Explorer, which is actually really, quite amazing. And here we have the number of followers, followings, the number of tweets, and the number of ratio of followers divided by followings, a metric that we came across. So basically for this, on the x-axis, we have the year creation, the creation of the account year, a script from the Twitter account. And then we have the y-axis, which is the number of, well, based on what we're going to select here. For example, if it's going to be the followers accounts, the year creation, and then the followers account, followers count number. So as you can see here, for the top number of followers counting all of the data from the 550 number of accounts that we have the data, these are the top 5, and as you can see, one of the key things we can understand is that the number of followers necessarily doesn't mean that the higher the number is, that doesn't necessarily means that it's going to be created earlier. So an account that is created in 2013 has more followers than the one that was created in 2008. So this is one of the important ones. You can also go and select, like, for example, the 76 first ones based on the number of followers as we selected here, and we can see the data here. We can also go specifically to this part. We can also select these parts so that we can see the data in a better way. We can zoom in as much as we want in any place that we want. We just need to work with these buttons there. At the bottom of this, we have another data visualization metric, and here we have Twitter accounts with their locations. So this was a script from the Twitter accounts themselves. So as you can see in this data, these numbers are showing the number of news accounts that are based in China. These are based in anywhere else in the world rather than China, for example, in Africa or anywhere else. And these are the data locations, these are the news channels locations that are not available. So all of them together are the data that we have available, which was 554 number of Twitter accounts. At the bottom of this, we also have these accounts, these numbers, which means the type of the Twitter accounts. So as you can see here, we have the type of the businesses. For example, 47 of those types are media, 9% are social media influencers, and some of them are journalists, and so on. So these are basically the business accounts. And if the account is not business, then we do not have the category for that. At the right, we have the Twitter verified accounts, which means 58% of the accounts were verified, which has like the blue verified button logo, and these are the ones that are not verified, and these are the ones that are not specified. And at the bottom, we also have another metric, which is, as you can see here, in the x-axis we have the creation of the accounts, and in the y-axis we have the number of accounts that they were created in each year. So based on the data we have available about the news accounts, a lot of the accounts were created between the year 2018 and 2020, which was the coronavirus pandemic. So we can also think about something that maybe these stayed related to Chinese accounts were actually created so that because there was a lot of controversy about the coronavirus source. So we're not going to go through that, but maybe one of the reasons is that the creation of accounts are going to be higher here is basically because of that. So let's go to word cloud. So as you can see in this word cloud, we have the data extracted from the name of the news channels themselves. So each of those medias have their own names, so we came across this idea that maybe there's a pattern between some of the names that they're choosing for their accounts. Some of them may be obvious, for example, Chinese embassy, Chinese, or some of the Chinese names like Jiao Wang or something, but some of them, for example, like CRI, People Daily, or for example, Consulate General. These are the names that may not seem as Chinese, but there's a pattern that these are the names that were used for creating those accounts. Okay, let's go to accounts statistics. So for accounts statistics, as you can see here, we have social media platforms focus. In here we can see the number of Twitter accounts. In here we can see the total number of followers that they have. And in these bars that we have here, we have, which shows a ratio, is the total number of Twitter accounts divided by the total number of accounts that we have. So as you can see, we have more number of Twitter accounts here. As we can see here, we have the ratio of a number of followers divided by the total number of accounts that we have, so that we can normalize the data, and then we have these data for each platform. And so basically it shows that we have more followers in general, in total number of accounts on Facebook than we have it on YouTube, then TikTok. One of the other metrics that we really actually like here, we quite like here, is the popularity of each platform based on the language that they have. So for example, the popularity of language English in the platform Twitter, and these are the number of followers in each of the categories, in each of the platforms. So if we say, for example, Instagram followers, we have these numbers, and in here we have the news channels themselves in each of the platforms. Well, not in each, in Instagram followers at least. So if we make it bigger, we can see that CGTN is quite popular in Instagram platform, as it is, and also based on the language English. If we go to Threads followers, we say that iPanda is more popular in the language English. If you go, for example, for Pashto, we don't have any data for it. If we go for Twitter accounts, we can see that there are two Pashto focused channels. Okay, let's go to the graph part, which is actually quite important. We need to select two, for example, the name English and the entity owner, so that we can see the options. Please bear in mind that we are going to use these colors to show the color of each nodes in the graph. So it's going to be a graph, and it's going to take a long time because the data is actually quite heavy. So as you can see here, we have the data, which is quite interesting. The graph is quite fascinating. We can zoom in, zoom out, we can see the data. So this is the China International Communication Group, and these are all nodes that are around it are the ones that are the new channels, and their owner is China International. You can see that Ministry of Foreign Affairs has a lot of different channels that are assigned to it, so it's quite working to have its impact on the countries. And we can also change all of these countries to other options. For example, we can say focus countries or parent entities. We can change with all of them, and the colors of each node is going to be different. You can go through them and see the results by yourself. So thank you very much for watching,